What's up, guys? News FL back with another video. It's been a while since I've done a video. I've been doing a lot of shorts, but I'm gonna do a ranking on every NFL team or a tier list on every NFL team, and I'll be later doing videos on each and every NFL team and why I put them in the specific rank, like Super Bowl contenders, playoff teams, potential wild cards, mediocre at best, and then first pick contention. You know what I mean? So trash, mediocre, almost there, playoff teams, in that hunt, and then, those Super Bowl contenders. So, yeah, obviously, number one, you got to say the Chiefs. They won the Super Bowl. Nothing much to say there. Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes. He is still young. He's going to be, 27, 28? So, he's already 27, so he's going to be 28. Yeah, he's still got so many years in him. He's in his prime right now. Nothing much to say there. Some people might be concerned about Travis Kelce being old and, regressing, but Andy Reid's still there. I don't have any worry about that. Chiefs are still good. I know there's not many receivers there, but Mahomes can make it work. Isaiah Pacheco looks like a nice young running back star. And Chris Jones is a worry, but I think Mahomes will get it done. He's Mahomes and Kelce is really all you need, and Andy Reid. Those three, they'll just get the job done. So yeah, Chiefs right there. Second team right behind them, it would be the Eagles. They lost Super Bowl, yes, but they are also very good. It's the two Super Bowl teams. It just makes sense. You know what I mean? Jalen Hurts, had a MVP like season last year. Played fantastic in the Super Bowl. The O-line's still there. A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith's still there. There's concerns on the defense, but they got Jalen Carter and what's his name, Nolan Smith on that defense. So their defense is just going to improve for the Eagles, and that was pretty much what lost in the Super Bowl, the defense. So yeah, the offense getting better, defense getting better. Like you can't. There's like the Eagles are just so good. They're the best all around team in the NFL. Like the best NFL player is Patrick Mahomes, but the best overall team is the Eagles. If you know what I mean. That's why it was such a fun Super Bowl matchup. It was like the best team versus the best overall team. The best player versus the best overall team. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think since Mahomes beat the Eagles. You just got to put that number one over the Eagles. Now, for me, the third team, it just makes sense. It feels like this year's a very repeat year. You just got those top dogs that you feel like you can't get rid of. Super Bowl contenders, you got to put the Bengals up there as well. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. That offense is good. This is probably the best O-line Joe Burrow's had in his career so far, so that's nice for him. He's playing great. He's still very young. The whole Bengals offense is very young, so if they can pay them, they're going to be there for a while. So, yeah, and the defense is very underrated. They did lose, they did gain Orlando Brown from the Chiefs, right? They may have lost, who am I thinking of? Whatever. The Bengals is just a very good team. You know what I mean? Overall, they got Joe Burrow. Like these three teams, they got Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow. I mean, that's really what you need to win the Super Bowl. Any of these teams could go and make a Super Bowl run, in my opinion. Now, next, thinking about the 49ers is very hard. But I can't say that they're a Super Bowl team. I can't say that they're a Super Bowl team. I picked them to win the Super Bowl last year with Brock Purdy, but I feel like they just got way too many injury problems. Like Brock Purdy's now injured. You know what I mean? The Trey Lance, like their quarterback issue, like it's so bad. Like they haven't had a good quarterback in years, and it's probably gonna stay like that as long as Kyle Shanahan is there. You know what I mean? Like it's just his. I don't know. They just don't know how to get a good quarterback. You know what I mean? It's just there's a lot of injury issues there. It's just they're a very tough physical team, and maybe too physical, and they're just gonna get injured a lot. Even though that defense and that offense are very, very talented, they just do not have good depth in the most important position of them all, which is quarterback. Brock Purdy's injured. They want to trade away Trey Lance, and then starting Sam Darnold. So, I mean, yes, that run game is big and everything, but they're not going to win a Super Bowl without a good quarterback. So that's why I'm saying there's a playoff team. So yeah. Next team. I'm trying to think a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna say the Bills. Bills next. It's very hard because I'm looking at a couple teams here. But yeah, Bills definitely with Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, Von Miller's going to be back. That's the most important thing. That defense was lackluster without Von Miller. Von Miller is going to be back this season. And, he is tremendous. He is amazing. So, for the Bills to have him back is great. They probably, do you think, it's hard to think. Just imagine that Bills-Bengals game, when they got destroyed at home. Do you think Von Miller makes that difference that pushes the Bills over the edge? Maybe. Maybe they can win a Super Bowl if Von Miller's back, but I feel like Josh Allen's regressing a little bit, weirdly. I feel like they're not as talented overall, but Von Miller is coming back. They did lose Tremaine Edmonds to the Bears, so, players are getting older, like Micah Hyde and all that, so Tre'Davious White, even though he's still, 20, he's 28 or whatever, but you know what I mean? I feel like their best chance was a couple years ago, but Von Miller coming back definitely helps them. So I'm gonna say they're a playoff team. They were Super Bowl favorites last year, but yeah, Von Miller getting injured was a big factor to why they weren't as good in the playoffs. But yeah, I'm gonna say they're a playoff team this year. I think they got a little worse, but yeah, that's overall what I think. This is very hard for me. But I'm going to say the Cowboys next. Yeah, they're a playoff team. They're going to stay a playoff team because they have a fantastic defense with Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, and, now they have the addition of Stephon Gilmore, which is crazy. But they still have Dak Prescott, unfortunately. Now they did get rid of Ezekiel Elliott, and now they have Tony Pollard starting, which I think is the better running back, so that's good for them. They got Brandon Cooks, which is good to help CeeDee Lamb. But Dak, he's just not a good quarterback. It's like something similar to the 49ers. They stacked up everywhere but quarterback, you know what I mean? You're not going to win a Super Bowl when you got that type of quarterback, you know what I mean? So you're going to be good, but you're not going to go that far. So that's why you're just a playoff team, not a Super Bowl contender. These three contenders right here, they have elite quarterbacks. Now, Josh Allen, he's elite, but he's kind of sold recently, you know what I mean? These guys have shown that they could be clutch under pressure, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I want to say. Next is next I want to say the Ravens. Ravens are I'm gonna say Dolphins and then Ravens. So Dolphins. Why am I putting Dolphins? It's because they were really good when Tua was healthy. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, that's a sensational offense. If Tua can stay healthy, that offense definitely thrives. It's just that offense lost Tua, and they almost beat the Bills in the wild card round without Tua, which is quite interesting. So, yeah, and the defense is stacked up, with Jalen Ramsey. Yes, he's going to miss a couple weeks, but still, he's going to be back right for the playoffs. If Tua can stay healthy, man, I don't know. I don't think he's going to be injury prone, but yeah, he's a good player. That's a good team. So, yeah, I'm going to say they're a playoff team. Definitely better record than last year. Yeah, that's what I gotta say, man. They stacked up on defense with Jalen Ramsey. Tua should be healthier. So, yeah, I think it'll be better than last year. That's 100%. And then you got the Ravens. Now, obviously, Lamar's had some down years, some injuries, you know what I mean? But he's finally got some receiving weapons. OBJ, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews is back, of course, which that was his number one weapon. He had Rashad Bateman, who really didn't do anything. But now with the addition of Zay Flowers, OBJ, I feel like I'm missing one more person, but but OBJ and Zay Flowers, those are great players. In addition to Mark Andrews, and Rashad Bateman, that's a pretty decent offense, for Lamar. So he's got a lot more options. The passing game is going to be better, and his ability to run, that just makes him such a good dual threat. It'll open up more opportunities, and they'll definitely be a pretty decent playoff team, I would say. Not better than these guys, but last year they were a potential wild card team. Even though they didn't make the playoffs, they were very close to missing it. That defense played good, you know what I mean? But man, if Lamar was healthy in the playoffs and those receiving weapons, yeah, I'm saying they're right here. Now next is the Jets. Now, obviously the Jets, sensational defense. Sauce Gardner, Quinn Williams, you know what I mean? Fantastic defense overall. DJ Reed, you know what I mean? But the main addition is that they got Aaron Rodgers and his squad from the Packers, Alan Lazard. They got Adrian Amos, Randall Cobb. So obviously Rodgers is a Hall of Fame quarterback. He is good, except when it comes to the playoffs. So I'm going to say they're a playoff team, but not a Super Bowl contender because he does end up choking the playoffs. Yes, they got Garrett Wilson, some great receiving weapons, but this is just basically Packers 2.0, you know what I mean? I'm going to say they're Super Bowl contenders because I feel like they're just teams better, and that, Garrett Wilson's not Devontae Adams. I know that Garrett Wilson will be good, but he's not Devontae Adams, so this is basically like the Packers 2.0. Just a little bit worse. Maybe the defense is a bit better, but yeah. And the O-line's going to be an issue. So, and yes, they have Dalvin Cook, but they had Aaron Jones in Green Bay. So basically, it's just thinking as the Packers, you know what I mean? A Packers team. So, just basically replacing the Green Bay Packers with the Jets, basically, you know what I mean? It's the Green Bay Jets, or, the New York Packers. So, yeah, I'm going to put them at a playoff team at this moment, you know what I mean? But it'll be interesting to watch the Jets finally be good after many, many years. So Jets fans should be excited. And any more playoff teams, I would say. Oh, yeah, Jaguars. The reason I'd say Jaguars is Jaguars next. Kylan Ridley. He's going to be that nice receiver one. He hasn't played football in a bit, so it might take him a while. But he is a great receiver. Another weapon for Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence played pretty good last year. You liked how the Jaguars head coach, handled it. They handled everything. They beat the Chargers in an amazing comeback. What was his name? The Jaguars head coach, Doug Peterson, right? Yeah. He was fantastic for them. Trevor Lawrence, Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, Zay Jones. I like the Jaguars. They got Josh Allen on defense, and they got Trayvon Walker. So yeah, this team, the Jaguars are getting better. They're young. They're getting better. Now let's look. Okay. Next, I think this might be my final one, but it's going to be the Seahawks. Now, Geno Smith, he was great last year. Do I think he's going to repeat that? But he's got a lot of great weapons. They added Jackson Smith and Njigba with Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. That is going to be an insane receiver trio. They got Devin Witherspoon with Tariq Woolen. Great quarterback room, great receiver room. It's a lot like the Dolphins in a way, quarterback, They have Kenneth Walker. It should be a pretty good team. They're pretty stacked. They've pretty much benefited a lot from that Russell Wilson trade. It's like they upgraded at quarterback and got so many picks. So that's just a big win for them. If they could get a quarterback in the future, they could be here in a couple of years. Who knows? But yeah, Seahawks right now they're there because I don't think Geno's gonna be that good again. But yeah, I'd say those are my playoff teams and Super Bowl contenders. Potential wild card teams. Number one, I'm gonna say Lions. Now the reason I don't have the Lions. Okay, maybe I might switch one of these later on, but the Lions, I feel like they're a bit overrated. You know what I mean? Like, okay, Jared Goff had a really good year and everything, but you really think Jared Goff's gonna have another good year like that? Like, tell me. They were 1-6, and then they went on a hot streak, correct? Like, yes, Aiden Hutchinson's going to be good. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, that's now on the defense. But the Lions are the Lions. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to be, like, a playoff team. You know what I mean? They're the Lions, okay? And I'm not trying to be rude about that or anything. It's just that they have Jared Goff at quarterback. They have Jahmyr Gibbs, who is an interesting running back, but they didn't really do it. I mean, they got Jack Campbell, Jahmyr Gibbs, which is a weird route to go. Trade away DeAndre Swift, you know what I mean? Jamal Williams. They got Jamal Williams, who was doing very good for them. I don't know why you would get rid of Jamal Williams when, he, like, beat Barry Sanders for the amount of touchdowns scored. Like, he was great. He brought, like fire and heart to that team. So I don't know why you would get rid of him. Yeah, Amon-Ra is great. Jameson Williams, I feel like he's suspended for another couple of games. But yeah, he'll be back. It's a good team. It's just that Jared Goff's the head of it. Yes, this is a good Lions O-line. I could see them being maybe okay. It's right. It's very close, but I'm gonna say they're at the top of the wild card around just because they're the Detroit Lions, and yes, they did beat the Packers and they finished strong last year. But don't forget that they started 1-6. They started out 1-6. All right. People are forgetting that they started out 1-6. Okay. That's all I'm saying. All right. Next, I'm gonna say the Chargers. Now, Chargers are a good team. Yes. Could they be in the playoffs? Yes. Is it going to be hard with Brandon Stanley as their head coach? Yes. I mean, you choke a 27-point lead. How do you do that? They should have got rid of him after that. I don't know how you don't, but yeah, Justin Herbert had a down year. Keenan Allen was injured for a while. I don't think he's going to be that injured again, but Mike Williams as well. They're probably going to be better, but that's just the head coach. You know what I mean? They're not going to really go anywhere. With Brandon Stanley as their head coach. But yeah, they're a good offense. Defense, J.C. Jackson is coming back, right? Khalil Mack. That off defense, I don't know, it just doesn't perform, I guess. I think they need better. I think the Chargers just lack good coaching. Chargers lack good coaching, in my opinion. They're talented, but they just lack good coaching. They have Austin Eckler, all that. But he wants to be traded, He's getting older, so, you know what I mean? They just lack good coaching. And they were like, what, 10-7? So, yeah. If that's the best you can do with a talented team like that, you just need to get new coaching, and they haven't really done that. So, yeah. Next. I'm going to say the Vikings. Now, Vikings, Justin Jefferson, yes, best receiver in the league. He's going to continue to put up those numbers like that. But Kirk Cousins, he's getting older. He's going to regress. Yes, they got Jordan Addison, who could be better than Adam Thielen. But the main reason why they're no longer a playoff team in my eyes is because that defense. They lost to Darius Smith. Harrison Smith is only getting older and older. Like, that defense is bad. really bad, and they got lucky. Like a lot of those games, they won a lot of games by one score. I mean, the Vikings were a very overrated team last year, and they got bounced out first round. So they just they're gonna get worse. They're not as good as the Lions. They're just gonna get worse. That's why they're in the mid tier. But Justin Jefferson's there, so he's gonna carry them to a couple wins at least. So here we go. Now this is gonna be interesting. Broncos country, let's ride. Sean Payton, could he fix Russell Wilson? I think he fixes a little bit, not enough to make the playoffs, but I think they're gonna do decent. I think the defense is elite with Patrick Surtain. Justin Simmons. They have a great defense. They do have Jerry Jeudy. Like they're supposed to be a good team. It's just that the coaching was bad by Nathaniel Hackett, who's now in the Jets with Rodgers. So, no, I think Sean Payton could definitely fix some things and make them a potential wild card team. I think it's still gonna be neat. I still think there's gonna be more work to be done. You know what I mean? I don't know if Russell Wilson is really the answer in Denver, which sucks because they give a lot for him. So, yeah. Next, I would say is the Giants. Now the Giants, they were a playoff team this last year. Now, Daniel Jones was pretty good last year. Brian DeBoer, Coach of the Year. Could we expect another Coach of the Year performance from Brian DeBoer? I don't know. Saquon kind of doesn't want to be in the Giants organization, especially since he didn't really get paid. So that's kind of holding them back. They did get Darren Waller, great tight end. Does have injury issues though. So yeah. Giants aren't really a talented. I mean, their defense, like Kayvon Thibodeau's nice. Dexter Lawrence is nice. But besides that, I mean, I can't really say that they're gonna go deep in the playoffs like that again. I feel like a lot of that was a masterclass from Brian DeBoer, and you really can't. Coaches can only do so much for an NFL team. Just look at Bill Belichick. He got into the playoffs one year. And then last year, I feel like the Giants are kind of like a Patriots team. Good coach, but that's really it. Not very talented, which is why they're next. These two teams very bounce off each other a lot. Very good coaching, not very good teams. Daniel Jones, Mac Jones, they really aren't leaders. They kind of are just role players. And the talent around them is all right. They've got good running backs. The defense really carries them. So that's why I say they're potential wild card teams. They really are very similar teams. So yeah. Next, I would say, Steelers, because Mike Tomlin, Kenny Pickett is only going to get better. George Pickens only going to get better. Young offense, Najee Harris. They got TJ Watt, going to be back. Like, that defense is obviously elite with Minka. They got Patrick Peterson. So they really Cameron Hayward. So yeah, their offense, is bright and young. So, and they have a good defense and a good head coach. So, they're not there yet with Kenny Pickett and George Pickens, but we'll see what happens. I can see them definitely as a potential wildcard team. That's basically what they were last year. So yeah, I feel like this may be our last wild card team. It's okay. I have two more. Okay, so one is the Saints. Derek Carr, he does. Okay. I'm gonna stick with. Okay, yes, Derek Carr. He's not very good quarterback, but that Saints defense is way better than that Raiders defense he had last year in Las Vegas. Um, with Marshawn Lattimore, you know, you know, the, it's just such a good defense. Dennis Allen. Um, but they got Chris Olave, Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry. It's just a good offense overall. They got Jamal Williams from the Lions. Alvin Kamara may be suspended, but you gotta trust Jamal Williams. So yeah, they're a very underrated team. I can see them being a very underrated team under the radar. So that's why I put them last in potential wildcard teams, or one more potential wildcard team, which is the Browns. Talented team. Just Deshaun Watson is not good anymore. Does Deshaun Watson need to return to 2020 form? Yes, for them to be good, or at least a playoff team. But there's just so many other good teams that I feel like there's just no room for. Like, do you really think Deshaun Watson could be any of these, like, teams in the playoffs right here? Like, I don't think so. Yes, Nick Chubb is elite, but the run game will only get you so far. It's very similar to the Giants and the Patriots. So yeah. Um, Not to mention, I mean, they have Myles Garrett and everything. They have a great defense, Denzel Ward. Um, but yeah, it really just depends on Deshaun Watson, and I don't feel like he's gonna be quite there yet, back to original form. So, potential wildcard team, and that is my last potential wildcard team. Now, mediocre at best. Okay. I could see okay, so I'm gonna put the Packers here. They could be the potential wild card team based on their easy schedule, but the Packers have an easy schedule. Jordan Love does look like a good quarterback so far. I mean, he could be, he could not be. I think he's gonna be pretty decent. They have a good defense. It's just that the coaching isn't very good with that defense, with Jair, Rashawn Gary, Devondre Campbell. But they got a young receiver core, a young offense besides Aaron Jones. But yeah, they have a good run game. Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon. They could be, potential wild card team, but they're not going to be very much a playoff team. You know what I mean? They're not going to be any of these teams up here. Let's be honest. Not yet, at least. They need to develop more. Jordan Love needs to develop. Christian Watson needs to develop. Romeo Doubs needs to develop. You know what I mean? So yeah. And the same thing goes for the Chicago Bears. They're right there. They got Tremaine Edmonds, DJ Moore. Big trades. They actually had a very great offseason. They're trying to see if Justin Fields is the guy. I don't know. Personally, I don't think so. I don't think his passing game is going to be very good, but you know what? With DJ Moore, Chase Claypool, Darnell Mooney, there's a good chance that he could actually perform and be like a Lamar type player, because he is a great runner, but you just got to see him pass better, and DJ Moore is definitely going to help with that. And the defense is definitely upgraded, so yeah. I could see them. They're going to be better than last year because they were the worst team last year. So, yeah, I'd say I'd put them right there. Next, I would put the Raiders, Jimmy G, bridge quarterback, Devontae Adams. It's unfortunate. Should have stayed with the Packers. Or, you know what I mean? I'd much rather be with Jordan Love than Jimmy G. Josh Jacobs still there. They got Jacoby Myers, Hunter Renfrow. That defense does suck, though. Even though they got Max Crosby and everything. Yeah, mediocre at best. They lost a lot of close games last year, but they still got their head coach, Josh McDaniels. So, yeah, you can't really fix bad coaching. So, yeah, next I would say, I see the Panthers being next. They have a good defense with Brian Burns, Jeremy Chin. Bryce Young over first overall pick could be nice. They got Adam Thielen. They got him some. I wouldn't have traded DJ Moore if I were them, but they needed their quarterback of the future. Bryce Young's definitely a good quarterback. They got um, Miles Sanders. Yeah, they could be. They're definitely building up to a good standard. You know what I mean? Trying to see what Bryce Young could do. So yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Next, Washington Commanders. I mean, they want to trade away what's his name, Chase Young. You know, they have a quarterback. I mean, they have a quarterback issue. I mean, what? Taylor Heineke. I don't know. Carson Wentz. Who knows? I mean, they got a good receiver core and Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin. You know what I mean? Curtis Samuel. But yeah, they're not going to go anywhere without a good quarterback. So yeah. Next, I would say. Let's go the Rams. They got Aaron Donald, Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford. They just have no depth. They did lose Jalen Ramsey. They're not going to be a very good team. I think they might just trade away their pieces and call it a season. They won their Super Bowl. I think they're pretty much good for now. There's nothing nothing left to be said. I'm gonna go the Buccaneers. I don't know. They named Baker Mayfield recently the starter. Actually, I'm gonna put the Falcons ahead of them. Bijan Robinson's gonna be nice. I didn't expect them to get him because they have Cordell and Tyler Alliger. So I don't know why they did that, but honestly, if they get a good quarterback, that offense is very functioning. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson. Like, maybe they should have gotten Jimmy Garoppolo because that's a good bridge quarterback. But with Desmond Ridder, I guess you want to see what he does, but I really don't see him doing anything. So maybe just try and get the first pick contention. I don't know, but I think they're going to do mediocre at best because Bijan Robinson. But yeah, then it's the Baker Mayfield team. Yeah, they got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, but that's not going to be great with Baker Mayfield throwing you the football. Defense is getting worse and worse, I'd say. They still got Antoine, though, Devin White, Levante David, but yeah, it's Baker Mayfield. What are you going to do? They got rid of Leonard Fournette. They got Rashad White. We'll see what he could do. Next, Tennessee Titans. Derrick Henry is going to regress. I know it's unfortunate to see, but he is at the age of 29 or 30 or something like that. He is most definitely regress. You know, he is a running back. You know, they have a short career span. Yes, he has been the king of running backs for years and years, but his downfall is coming, and I think it's inevitable. So, yeah, without Derrick Henry, the Titans are not functional. So, yeah, that's pretty. I mean, yes, they got DeAndre Hopkins, but what are they going to do with what is Ryan Tannehill going to do? Be honest. Yes, they're a pretty good coach team, but honestly, Derrick Henry's not going to be what he used to be. I could see maybe they're higher up, but I'm putting them here for now because Derrick Henry is just going to get worse, honestly. And I feel like I should put more picks down here. Maybe okay. I'm gonna pick the Rams down here because I feel like they're gonna trade away all their guys and basically go for that number one pick, like Caleb Williams. I'm gonna put the Colts here because Anthony Richardson, Michael Pittman. That defense is alright. The offensive line's pretty nice. Jonathan Taylor wants to trade away though. Anthony Richardson, who knows what he can do. He's a very athletic quarterback, so they need to just train him, coach him properly. But yeah, I'd say he's very low mediocre. And then Cardinals, I'd say, would be the worst team. And then I'd say Texans ahead because C.J. Stroud could be interesting. He's got Dalton Schultz, Robert Woods. And Dameon Pierce. So you just got to, we just need to see. I think the Texans just need to see some flashes from C.J. Stroud. But yeah, they're going to try and get another good pick and get some weapons for him. But yeah, I'd say that's my ranking. of the NFL. What do you guys think? I think it's a pretty good ranking. Would I change? I'm sure I definitely changed some things maybe later on, but I think it's a pretty good thing overall. The Cardinals, the reason why they're first pick contention, they just traded away Isaiah Simmons to the Giants for like a 7th round pick. Like it's like they're getting rid of their players. Buda Baker's up for like trades. You know what I mean? Like their defense is just getting worse. I mean, Kyler Murray is injured. They got rid of DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah, they're going downhill. Who knows? I don't know. And I don't know. Kyler Murray just doesn't seem focused on NFL. You know what I mean? He doesn't feel like he wants to be a big quarterback. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much my tier list for all the 2023 NFL teams. Let me know what you guys think. I'll basically do a specific review for about a couple of these teams. You know, like the Chiefs, the Eagles, Bengals, you know, all these teams right here, you know, the relevant teams. I'm going to do ranking stuff, so yeah. But, yeah, let me know what you guys think, and yeah, peace. News fell out.